Far in the past, countless years ago, beyond the universe, there was a planet that flowered a beautiful yet brilliant civilization, Terra. However, because of the twisted desires of one mad scientist, the fate of this noble planet was altered dramatically. Due to the evil creation of an artificial god merged by science and magic, the mortals were thrust into fighting an irrevocable war. A great cosmic presence tried to deter the artificial god, but ultimately failed to do so. At long last, Terra was burnt to ash and eradicated. When all was at an end, a sole landmass had broken off of Terra and was left to drift through space. This piece of land would later come to be called Pandemonium. Exposed to radiation and mysterious diseases in space, the people of Pandemonium started mutating, ultimately turning into deformed creatures. After years of long despair, a mysterious woman appeared. Her name was Hilda, the first and the greatest wizard and sage of all. Hilda moved Pandemonium to another dimension, separating it from reality and protected it from the radiation of the universe. From that moment on, Pandemonium started to float around the universe without special limitations. Then, one day, Hilda encountered the Star of Fate. Granvlad, the world of power. A planet filled with giants. Granvlad was a savage place. As Pandemonium made contact with this planet, complete chaos ensued. Countless monsters and giants climbed into Pandemonium. The monsters slaughtered the people of Pandemonium. These savages tried to destroy everything. But then, Hilda's broken wheel of fate began to turn. A mysterious man appeared from the light. The man, radiating a blinding aura, started killing the monsters without mercy. After the slaughter, the man calmly tried to return Granvlad, but in that moment, this is how the first apostle came to Pandemonium. This man is known as Cana fatality. Throughout the history, no one has ever come close to holding his power. He was feared by every living creature who set foot on Pandemonium. Pandemonium was repeatedly attacked by a plethora of creatures from many different planets. Most of them were defeated by Cain. But once in a great while, there were those who presented Cain with a suitable challenge. The first one with such power was Isis Frey of the Blue Sky. Frey, who appeared with a blazing storm, attacked Cain without any hesitation. The battle lasted for numerous nights and days. In the end, the battle ended without a victor, and both turned against each other. And then, there was a swordsman with a demon-like face. His name was Cassius the Conqueror. Nice. Coming from the land where battles never ended, he was always yearning for another fight. Cassius, who was addicted to combat and the blood of his enemies, jumped at the chance to battle with Cain. Cassius, the undefeated, the undisputed swordsman, drew his sword toward Cain. However, all his skills, techniques, and swordsmanship were useless. Although there was no clear victor, Cassius was ashamed of himself and conceded his defeat. Ever since then, there have been others such as Sirocco the Intangible, Delacy the Black Plague, Anton the Flame Eater, Lotus the Long-Footed Gangler, Baco the Dragon King, and Luke the Constructor, who will be accepted as an apostle in the future. Hilda appointed them, along with herself, as the saviors of Pandemonium, and named them the Apostles. It seemed that the balance of power was maintained with them. Such was far from the truth. In contrast to Hilda, no other apostles were interested in the safety of Pandemonium. Only Hilda had spent her power and effort to rebuild Pandemonium. Countless conflicts, war, and great famines. All these problems stemmed from the apostles, who were supposed to be saviors of Pandemonium. At this time of chaos, another great event occurred that changed the fate of Pandemonium. Hilda had found an epitaph in the hidden space. It would later be known as the Prophecy from the Genesis. Hilda was fascinated by this and analyzed it every day. She thought this was the answer to all tragedies. One by one, the apostles began to disappear. They relocated to Arad, where they conducted evil deeds and were eventually killed. Among them are those who are assumed to be apostles, although never having reached Pandemonium. So, who defeated them? The heroes from Arad, called the Adventurers. Slayers, a unique type of swordsman filled with the source of the foreign energy in one arm, overcoming the pain of curse and evil itself. They slay their enemies with the swordsmanship that goes beyond the human limits. Fighters, martial arts specialists who constantly push their bodies to the limits and control the power of Nen. They are the ones who have truly reached the acme of Suju martial arts. Gunners, by studying guns, machines, and bombs, which are the products of the advanced Imperium technology, they have successfully developed their own ways of fighting. Mages, spiritual explorers who have been researching the wonders of mana for a very long time. They are the last bastions of Pandemonium. Priests, warriors who create miracles out of deep, true religious faith. They have always defended Arad from countless threats. Thieves, Fenes, a secret and mysterious kingdom of the Black Elves. Their sophisticated way of fighting often inspires other tribes and species. People who have crossed time, Dark Knight, Creator, children who have been stuck inside a vortex of time due to a cruel experiment have now appeared in Arad as valiant warriors that can cross the limits of time. Knights, warriors who cross dimensional borders to correct the order of the universe. They may look like innocent girls, but they are destined warriors who have a bigger heart than anyone else. Demonic Lancers, warriors who have executed their friends with their own hands for freedom. They have entered the road of adventures and challenges to erase their heavy karma. And finally, the Agents. With new tactics that combines guns and swords, they are at the center of battles. I think it's about time now. Are you all ready? Today, the history of Pandemonium will be rewritten.